When my son Daniel claimed he was too busy with work to help with groceries or medication pickups while I was recovering from pneumonia, he had no idea that this supposedly helpless 70-year-old retired woman was actually Eleanor Katherine Hartwell, former senior estate planning attorney for Morrison, Wells & Associates, certified specialist in inheritance law with 38 years of experience crafting ironclad wills and trust structures, and the person who is about to use 4 decades of legal expertise in family wealth management to create the most strategically devastating inheritance lesson that anyone in our family's history had ever. Before I tell you how a woman who spent her career designing inheritance strategies for wealthy families used comprehensive legal knowledge and strategic estate planning to teach her neglectful son exactly what happens when you abandon the parent who controls your entire financial future, tell me in the comments if you've ever been ignored by family members during a health crisis. And if this story of calculated justice through professional expertise resonates with you, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I have more incredible stories about why you should never assume that quiet elderly parents don't have exactly the legal authority and strategic planning. My name is Eleanor Katherine Hartwell. I'm 70 years old, and I'm about to tell you how my self-centered, career-obsessed son Daniel, who had spent the last 2 years treating me like an inconvenient obligation while assuming his inheritance was guaranteed regardless of how he treated me, made the catastrophic mistake of neglecting someone whose entire professional career had been built on understanding exactly how family wealth transfers work and ensuring that inheritance decisions reflect family values, respect, and genuine care rather than mere biological relationships. The moment that would trigger Daniel's complete financial awakening happened on a gray Tuesday morning in November 2024. When I was struggling with a severe case of pneumonia that had left me bedridden and in need of basic assistance with medication management, grocery shopping, and transportation to follow up medical appointments. What should have been a temporary period where my successful, well-employed son stepped up to help his mother became instead a 3-week demonstration of exactly how little I mattered to him when my needs conflicted with his convenience. What Daniel didn't know, what he couldn't possibly have comprehended despite years of casual conversations about my old law job, was that the retired mother he was systematically ignoring was actually Eleanor Katherine Hartwell, former senior partner in estate planning at Morrison, Wells & Associates, one of Connecticut's most prestigious wealth management law firms, certified specialist in inheritance law and family trust structures, board member of the American College of Trust and Estate Council, and most importantly for Daniel's $1 million in family wealth. To understand how Daniel's 3 weeks of systematic neglect would ultimately trigger the most strategic inheritance restructuring in our family's history, you need to understand exactly how my professional expertise had been developed over nearly 4 decades of helping families navigate the complex intersection of wealth, values, and family relationships, and how the seemingly ordinary retirement lifestyle I had maintained concealed the very legal authority and strategic planning capability that would soon make Daniel's assumptions about guaranteed inheritance the most. The Hartwell family influence in estate planning and wealth management hadn't been built through inherited privilege or social connections. It had been systematically developed through 2 generations of dedicated legal practice, strategic client relationship building, and unwavering commitment to ensuring that family wealth served family values rather than enabling entitlement, disrespect, or systematic neglect of family relationships and responsibilities. My father, Thomas Robert Hartwell, had established our family's foundation in estate law during the post-war economic expansion of the 1950s and 1960s. His approach had been characterized by meticulous attention to client-family dynamics, comprehensive understanding of tax law and wealth transfer mechanisms, and absolute commitment to ensuring that inheritance structures served the genuine intentions and values of wealth creators, rather than simply facilitating automatic transfers to beneficiaries who might lack appreciation, responsibility, or respect for family relationships. Thomas had started as a general practice attorney in Hartford, Connecticut, but had quickly specialized in estate planning as he recognized the growing complexity of family wealth management and the increasing need for sophisticated legal structures that could protect family assets, while ensuring that inheritance decisions reflected thoughtful consideration of beneficiary character, family contribution, and genuine respect for the relationships and sacrifices that had created the wealth being transferred. The early legal practice had been built on a revolutionary principle for the 1960s, that inheritance should be earned through demonstrated respect, care, and family contribution, rather than automatically granted based on biological relationships. Thomas had observed too many wealthy families destroyed by entitled children who viewed inheritance as a right rather than a privilege that required ongoing demonstration of character and family loyalty. Money without character creates monsters, Thomas had often explained to clients who were struggling with inheritance decisions involving difficult or neglectful family members. Wealth should reward virtue and strengthen families, not enable selfishness and destroy relationships that took generations to build. This philosophy had attracted a distinctive clientele of successful business owners, established professionals, and family patriarchs who had worked hard to create wealth and wanted to ensure that their life's work strengthened rather than corrupted the next generation. Thomas's approach offered them legal tools to implement their values, rather than simply transferring assets based on social expectations or family pressure. But what made his estate planning approach particularly effective was his systematic development of family assessment protocols and beneficiary evaluation frameworks that created comprehensive documentation of family relationships, individual character, and ongoing demonstration of respect and care that could guide inheritance decisions based on merit and family values, rather than simple biological relationships or social expectations about automatic wealth transfer. The assessment protocols included detailed behavioral documentation systems, character evaluation frameworks, and family relationship quality measurements that provided objective criteria for inheritance decisions. These weren't arbitrary tests or manipulative control mechanisms. They were sophisticated evaluation systems that helped families identify who would honor their legacy and who might squander or dishonor their life's work. Thomas had developed these assessment tools through collaboration with family psychologists, behavioral specialists, and generational wealth advisors who understood the complex dynamics that determined whether inherited wealth would strengthen or destroy family relationships and individual character. The result was a comprehensive system for evaluating not just current behavior, but patterns of character that predicted long-term stewardship and family contribution. "We're not just transferring money," Thomas had explained during family planning sessions. "We're transferring responsibility, legacy, and the obligation to strengthen the family for future generations. That's a sacred trust that requires character, not just DNA." The early legal success had provided foundation for expanding into comprehensive family wealth management during the 1970s and 1980s, when increasing family wealth and changing social dynamics created new challenges for ensuring that inheritance decisions reflected genuine family values and encouraged positive family relationships, rather than entitlement, neglect, or systematic exploitation of family bonds for financial advantage without corresponding care or respect. Thomas had recognized that effective estate planning required more than technical legal expertise. It demanded sophisticated understanding of family psychology and systematic approaches to ensuring that wealth transfer decisions encouraged positive family behavior while discouraging entitlement, neglect, or systematic disrespect that could destroy family relationships and undermine the values that had created the wealth in the first place. During the 1980s, Thomas had systematically expanded family wealth management capabilities through strategic partnerships with financial advisors, family counselors, and behavioral specialists who created comprehensive assessment and planning services that could evaluate beneficiary character and family relationships while designing inheritance structures that encouraged respect, care, and genuine family connection rather than automatic entitlement based on biological relationships alone. The practice expansion had been carefully designed to preserve the personalized attention and thorough family assessment that distinguished effective estate planning from simple document preparation, ensuring that expansion enhanced rather than compromised the quality of family evaluation and the strategic sophistication of inheritance planning throughout increasingly complex family wealth and relationship dynamics. The partnership network included family therapists who specialized in generational wealth psychology, financial advisors who understood character-based planning, behavioral analysts who could predict long-term relationship patterns, and legal specialists who could craft inheritance structures that rewarded positive behavior while protecting assets from those who might abuse family trust. Character assessment isn't about controlling adult children, Thomas had explained to prospective clients who worried about appearing manipulative. It's about ensuring that family wealth supports the values that created it and strengthens the relationships that matter most. Money amplifies character, both good and bad. Our job is to ensure it amplifies the good, quote. But perhaps most importantly, Thomas had established systematic approaches to beneficiary evaluation and family relationship assessment that created comprehensive operational frameworks for recognizing genuine care and respect, while identifying entitlement, neglect, or systematic family exploitation that should disqualify individuals from inheritance benefits regardless of their biological relationship or social expectations about automatic wealth transfer. These frameworks weren't punitive systems designed to punish family members, but rather protective mechanisms that preserved family wealth for those who would honor it, while preventing its destruction by those who viewed it as an entitlement rather than a responsibility. The goal was always to strengthen families and reward character, while protecting assets from those who might abuse or waste them. When I had graduated from Yale Law School in 1978 with specialized training in estate planning and family trust law, Thomas had immediately recognized opportunities for systematic practice expansion and professional development that could enhance family wealth management capabilities while providing me with meaningful career advancement and leadership responsibilities that utilized my legal education and natural analytical abilities for understanding complex family dynamics and inheritance planning. But my entry into the family practice hadn't been automatic nepotism or inherited position assignment. Thomas had insisted that I spend my first 5 years working for other prestigious estate planning firms, gaining experience with different approaches to family wealth management, and developing professional credentials that would establish my expertise independent of family connections. I had started at Cravath, Swaine & Moore in New York City, where I worked on some of the most complex estate planning cases in the country. The experience had been invaluable for understanding how the ultra-wealthy approached inheritance planning and what strategies proved most effective for preserving both wealth and family relationships across multiple generations. From Cravath, I had moved to Gibson, Dunn & Crutcher's Los Angeles office, where I specialized in entertainment industry estate planning and learned how to handle complex intellectual property inheritance, royalty structures, and creative asset management that required innovative legal approaches and sophisticated family coordination. The California experience had been particularly valuable for understanding how modern families approached wealth transfer in rapidly changing economic environments. The entertainment industry presented unique challenges: sudden wealth creation, complex intellectual property rights, and family dynamics complicated by public attention and social pressures that didn't exist in traditional business or professional settings. Eleanor's approach to family assessment and inheritance planning demonstrated sophistication that exceeded her years, noted Margaret Chen, senior partner at Gibson Dunn, during my performance evaluation. She understood that every family required customized solutions that reflected their unique values, challenges, and goals, rather than cookie-cutter approaches that might work for simple cases but failed when family dynamics became complex. After 5 years of gaining experience with the nation's most prestigious estate planning firms, I had returned to Hartford with comprehensive understanding of advanced inheritance strategies, proven expertise in complex family wealth management, and professional credentials that established my authority independent of family connections or inherited position. My role in expanding the family estate planning practice hadn't been traditional father-daughter business involvement, but rather specialized expertise in developing sophisticated inheritance structures, implementing advanced family assessment technologies, and creating systematic approaches to multi-generational wealth transfer that required comprehensive legal knowledge and attention to family relationship details that exceeded standard estate planning capabilities. During my first decade with Morrison, Wells & Associates, the prestigious firm that Thomas had partnered with to expand our practice capabilities, I had been responsible for developing comprehensive family assessment protocols and inheritance planning systems that enabled wealthy families to structure wealth transfer based on demonstrated family values, ongoing care and respect, and genuine relationship quality rather than automatic biological entitlement that might reward neglect, disrespect, or systematic. The work had been challenging and rewarding in ways that went far beyond financial success. Every case represented a family's hopes, fears, and values, their desire to create lasting positive impact while protecting the relationships and principles that had guided their lives. The technical legal work was complex, but the family dynamics were even more challenging and important. I had developed specialized expertise in several cutting-edge areas of estate planning that would prove crucial for Daniel's eventual education. These included behavior-based inheritance structures, character assessment integration with legal frameworks, multi-generational family evaluation systems, and innovative trust structures that could adapt inheritance benefits based on ongoing beneficiary behavior and family contribution. The advanced inheritance planning capabilities that I had implemented included specialized assessment tools for family relationship evaluation, sophisticated documentation structures that created maximum flexibility for inheritance modification based on beneficiary behavior, and comprehensive legal frameworks that managed everything from initial family assessment to final wealth transfer implementation, while ensuring every detail reflected genuine family values and relationship quality, rather than social expectations about automatic inheritance rights. But what made my contributions particularly valuable was the systematic development of legal strategies and family assessment relationships that created exclusive access to specialized inheritance planning services, advanced family evaluation capabilities, and expert legal personnel who could execute complex wealth transfer strategies with precision and professionalism that distinguished comprehensive family estate planning from basic legal document preparation and simple wealth transfer mechanisms. During the 1990s, I had pioneered several innovative approaches to character-based estate planning that would become industry standards for families who wanted to ensure their wealth supported positive values and family relationships. These innovations would prove essential for addressing Daniel's neglectful behavior and ensuring he understood the connection between character and inheritance. The first major innovation had been the development of, quote, dynamic inheritance structures, legal frameworks that could modify inheritance benefits based on ongoing beneficiary behavior rather than being fixed at the time of estate creation. These structures allowed parents to reward positive family behavior while reducing benefits for those who demonstrated neglect, disrespect, or systematic exploitation of family relationships. Eleanor's dynamic inheritance structures provide families with tools that previous generations could never access, explained Dr. James Morrison, a family wealth psychologist who had collaborated on the behavior assessment protocols. Parents can ensure that their wealth rewards character and family contribution, rather than simply transferring assets to individuals who might dishonor their legacy. The dynamic structures included sophisticated legal mechanisms for behavioral monitoring, character assessment integration, family contribution evaluation, and inheritance modification that could respond to changing family circumstances while maintaining legal security and tax efficiency that protected assets while encouraging positive family relationships. The second major innovation had been character assessment integration, systematic methods for incorporating behavioral evaluation and family relationship quality into legal inheritance structures. This wasn't about controlling adult children, but rather about ensuring that family wealth supported the values that had created it, while protecting assets from those who might abuse or waste them. The character assessment protocols included detailed evaluation frameworks for measuring respect, care, family contribution, and ongoing demonstration of character qualities that reflected family values. These assessments weren't subjective or manipulative. They were objective, measurable criteria that provided clear guidelines for inheritance decisions based on behavioral evidence rather than personal preference or emotional reaction. The character assessment protocols provide objective standards for inheritance decisions, noted Professor Sarah Chen of Harvard Law School, who had studied the long-term effectiveness of character-based estate planning. Families can make inheritance decisions based on demonstrated behavior rather than hope, assumption, or social pressure about automatic wealth transfer. Quote, "The third innovation had been multi-generational family evaluation systems, comprehensive approaches to assessing family relationship patterns and predicting long-term stewardship capabilities that could guide inheritance decisions, not just for immediate beneficiaries, but for future generations who would be affected by current wealth transfer decisions." These evaluation systems included family relationship pattern analysis, generational behavior assessment, long-term stewardship prediction, and comprehensive family dynamic evaluation that could identify which family members would strengthen family relationships and preserve family values across multiple generations. By the early 2000s, as family wealth became increasingly complex and beneficiary behavior evaluation became more sophisticated, I had systematically expanded family estate planning capabilities through strategic practice development and professional relationship coordination that created comprehensive inheritance planning and family assessment services rather than simple document preparation and basic wealth transfer that characterized less sophisticated legal operations. The practice expansion had included professional family assessment and relationship evaluation services, comprehensive legal coordination for complex multi-generational wealth transfer and specialty inheritance planning, and systematic relationship development with financial advisors and family specialists who provided families with access to inheritance planning and relationship evaluation that enhanced their wealth management while demonstrating sophisticated legal expertise and family assessment capability throughout competitive estate planning environments. The comprehensive family wealth management capabilities that emerged from systematic practice development created opportunities for managing some of the region's most prestigious estate planning cases and inheritance restructuring projects, including annual coordination for major family wealth transfers, exclusive inheritance planning for influential family dynasties, and comprehensive family assessment coordination for high-profile cases that required sophisticated legal representation and flawless execution that reflected professional competence and family evaluation authority. Marcus Rivera, who had joined our practice as Senior Family Coordination Specialist and Inheritance Assessment Director after completing his MBA at Wharton and spending 5 years with J.P. Morgan Private Bank's Family Wealth Division, had developed specialized expertise in creating elaborate inheritance structures and sophisticated family evaluation coordination that could accommodate diverse family requirements while maintaining legal compliance and assessment standards that impressed financial advisors and family courts throughout exclusive inheritance planning and wealth management projects. Eleanor's systematic approach to family relationships and inheritance quality creates opportunities for wealth transfer innovation and family assessment excellence that would be impossible without the professional networks and resource access that she's developed throughout her career, Marcus had explained during family wealth management interviews about premium inheritance planning operations and family evaluation excellence standards. Marcus had been instrumental in developing the technology platforms and assessment protocols that would later prove essential for documenting Daniel's neglectful behavior and implementing the inheritance modifications that would serve as his education in family values and respect. Patricia Wong, the Family Assessment Coordination Director who managed comprehensive inheritance logistics and professional relationship development for our practice, had been trained in advanced family evaluation techniques and systematic quality control that could coordinate complex multi-generational inheritance cases while maintaining personalized attention and family assessment standards that distinguished comprehensive family wealth management operations from standard legal inheritance practice. Patricia had developed particular expertise in behavioral documentation systems and character assessment protocols that could provide objective evidence for inheritance decisions, while maintaining family relationship sensitivity and legal compliance that protected both assets and family dynamics throughout complex evaluation and modification processes. David Kim, our legal documentation specialist and family coordination expert who handled inheritance management and professional relationship coordination, had developed sophisticated understanding of family wealth transfer requirements and inheritance assessment strategies that maximized legal security while maintaining competitive positioning and family value that supported long-term professional relationships and family wealth management expansion throughout the national estate planning industry. David's expertise in complex trust structures and inheritance modification mechanisms would prove essential for implementing the comprehensive inheritance restructuring that Daniel's behavior would ultimately require. But perhaps most importantly, the systematic practice expansion had created extensive professional networks and industry relationships that provided comprehensive influence throughout family wealth management communities, including partnerships with virtually every major family financial advisor in Connecticut, exclusive relationships with specialized family assessment service providers, and professional connections with inheritance planning specialists and wealth management experts who recognized Eleanor Hartwell and Associates as the region's premier family estate planning and relationship evaluation organization. By 2015, when I had transitioned to senior consultant while maintaining active involvement in strategic inheritance development and major family coordination relationships, Eleanor Hartwell and Associates had achieved recognition as New England's premier family estate planning firm, managing over 300 high-end inheritance planning cases annually while maintaining exclusive relationships with financial institutions and influential family wealth advisors who relied on our inheritance services for their most important family wealth management and beneficiary evaluation decisions. During my tenure as senior partner and managing director, I had completed advanced certification programs through the American College of Trust and Estate Counsel, participated in family wealth management leadership development programs, and maintained professional memberships in exclusive estate planning trade organizations that provided access to inheritance innovations and family assessment best practices that enhanced wealth management service capabilities, while maintaining competitive advantages throughout family estate planning environments. The professional development and industry involvement had also provided systematic networking opportunities with estate planning leaders throughout the nation and internationally, creating professional relationships and resource access that enhanced our practice capabilities while providing personal recognition and family wealth management influence that reflected decades of successful inheritance planning, practice development, and family assessment excellence. The inheritance planning practice success had created substantial personal wealth and professional recognition that included estate planning awards and leadership positions in family wealth management trade organizations, but more importantly, it had established comprehensive influence throughout family wealth management communities that provided systematic capability for supporting family members and protecting family interests through professional relationships and inheritance coordination that could enhance or eliminate financial inheritance based on family relationship dynamics and respect for established values and legitimate. But what made the professional relationships particularly powerful was their emphasis on mutual respect and collaborative problem solving that created comprehensive support networks for managing complex family wealth transfer and challenging beneficiary evaluation cases that required immediate coordination and expert assistance from trusted partners who understood family inheritance standards and wealth management requirements. The retirement transition had been carefully planned to maintain access to professional resources and legal authority while reducing daily practice responsibilities. I had structured consulting relationships that preserved my ability to handle complex inheritance planning and family assessment while providing flexibility for personal activities and family relationship management. The modest retirement lifestyle that I had maintained during my later career years had been strategically designed to encourage exactly the kind of neglectful behavior that would eventually provide clear justification for systematic inheritance consequences and permanent financial education that required demonstration of respect for family authority, rather than simple assumption that biological relationships guaranteed wealth transfer regardless of care, respect, or genuine family contribution. Every aspect of my public presentation during retirement had been carefully chosen to reinforce assumptions about limited continuing influence over family wealth management and inheritance planning, while concealing the comprehensive legal authority and systematic inheritance control that continued to operate through professional relationships and legal structures that protected family interests from exactly the kind of systematic neglect that Daniel represented. My daily routine during retirement had been deliberately structured to create the impression of a typical elderly widow whose activities were limited to traditional grandmother pursuits and community involvement that suggested minimal continuing relevance to contemporary estate planning and professional decision-making that might affect major inheritance arrangements and family wealth management for younger generations, who might be developing their own financial expectations and lifestyle assumptions. But what visitors to my modest colonial house on Elm Street couldn't see was the sophisticated home office that occupied the converted guest bedroom, where I maintained comprehensive filing systems for family wealth management, professional-grade communication equipment for consulting with legal partners and inheritance specialists, and computer systems with specialized software for monitoring family assessment protocols and analyzing inheritance planning arrangements that required ongoing oversight and strategic management. The office included secure storage for sensitive family documents and professional contracts, professional-grade recording equipment for documenting important conversations and family behavior assessment, and communication systems that provided immediate access to legal personnel, inheritance specialists, and family assessment coordinators who could provide expert analysis and strategic guidance for complex cases that required professional coordination and systematic response. But perhaps most importantly, the home office included comprehensive communication systems that could provide immediate contact with estate planning attorneys, inheritance coordinators, and family wealth specialists, who could implement emergency legal action and systematic inheritance modification within hours of documented neglect or family relationship violations that required immediate protective intervention and comprehensive financial education to prevent continued exploitation and manipulation. The quiet retirement house that had lulled Daniel into assumptions about powerlessness and automatic inheritance was about to become the command center for inheritance restructuring and family education that would demonstrate exactly what happens when you take for granted someone whose professional expertise and systematic authority was specifically designed to ensure that family wealth rewards character and family contribution, rather than automatic entitlement based on biological relationships alone. Daniel's systematic neglect during my illness was about to encounter exactly the kind of devastating inheritance restructuring that demonstrated why taking elderly parents for granted based on assumptions about automatic wealth transfer could be the most financially catastrophic family mistake that anyone pursuing personal convenience over family responsibility could ever make. Have you ever wondered what happens when someone neglects the wrong elderly parent while assuming their inheritance is guaranteed regardless of how they treat family relationships? Drop a comment below and let me know, because this foundation story is just the beginning, and Daniel was about to discover that some mothers don't just have valuable assets to inherit, they control the entire legal framework that makes inheritance possible in the first place. If you want to see how this professional estate planning expertise develops into a comprehensive inheritance lesson, and hear more about the legal authority and family assessment capability that would soon eliminate Daniel's assumptions about automatic wealth transfer, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. The stage has been set, the legal authority has been established, and Daniel's complete misunderstanding of family inheritance planning and professional estate management would soon trigger the most comprehensive financial education that anyone in our family's history had ever experienced. The relationship between my son Daniel and me hadn't always been poisoned by entitlement and systematic neglect of family responsibilities. For nearly 3 decades before Daniel revealed his true character during my illness, we had built something genuinely beautiful, a mother-son bond characterized by mutual respect, collaborative life planning, and the kind of unconditional love that created both personal fulfillment and practical advantages for his professional development and personal growth throughout his entire adult life as a successful marketing executive in the technology industry. Those golden years of our relationship weren't marked by dependency or financial obligation, but rather by voluntary collaboration and mutual support that provided benefits for both of us, while respecting individual autonomy and personal goals that complemented rather than conflicted with our family connection, and shared values about professional integrity, personal responsibility, and collaborative problem-solving that had characterized Hartwell family traditions for multiple generations. Sometimes Daniel needed to make independent decisions and pursue separate priorities that enhanced rather than threatened our relationship, and I had always encouraged his professional independence while offering strategic guidance and career planning expertise when he sought it. From the time Daniel graduated from Boston University's School of Management until his systematic neglect campaign began in late 2024, our interactions had been characterized by regular communication that enhanced rather than limited his individual development and professional success in digital marketing and technology consulting. I provided strategic career guidance that supported his professional advancement without creating dependency, and we maintained family traditions that offered emotional satisfaction and practical benefits without requiring sacrifice of personal relationships or career opportunities that might take him in different directions from family expectations or business involvement that could complicate his individual achievement and professional reputation throughout Boston's competitive technology and marketing industry. Daniel's professional development and early success. Daniel had established himself as a highly successful digital marketing director at TechVantage Solutions, one of the premier technology consulting firms in the Boston metropolitan area. His specialty in enterprise software marketing and client relationship management had earned significant recognition throughout the regional business community, and his marketing campaigns had been featured in industry publications that demonstrated exceptional professional performance and innovative strategic thinking that reflected sophisticated understanding of contemporary business development principles and corporate client management. But what had once made me incredibly proud wasn't just his professional success. It was the way he had achieved it through individual effort, creative thinking, and ethical business practices, while maintaining strong family relationships and personal values that reflected the principles we had always shared about hard work, professional integrity, and collaborative problem-solving that enhanced rather than compromised personal relationships and community involvement throughout his career development and social advancement. Our weekly family dinner tradition had begun when Daniel first established his own apartment after college graduation in 2012. Every Sunday evening, he would drive down from Boston to my house on Elm Street for elaborate home-cooked meals and conversation that ranged from professional challenges and career planning to personal relationships and life philosophy that provided consistent family connection without interfering with his individual social life and romantic relationships that were developing throughout his 20s and early 30s. These weren't obligatory family visits driven by guilt or expectation. They were genuinely enjoyable gatherings that we both looked forward to, and that provided systematic opportunities for family communication and collaborative problem-solving that enhanced his strategic thinking and decision-making capabilities, while maintaining emotional connection and mutual support that strengthened rather than limited his individual development and professional success. "Mom, I actually turned down a client dinner today because I didn't want to miss our Sunday tradition," Daniel had mentioned during one of our regular gatherings in spring 2018. "These weekly conversations help me think through challenges and opportunities in ways that I just can't replicate anywhere else. Your perspective on professional relationship management and strategic planning has been invaluable for my career development and success throughout the technology industry." Quote, "The weekly dinners had provided natural opportunities for me to share insights from my legal career and estate planning experience that could enhance Daniel's client relationship strategies and business development approaches without crossing boundaries into inappropriate involvement in his professional activities or decision-making processes that needed to remain entirely under his control and direction based on his professional judgment and marketing expertise. I could offer strategic thinking frameworks and analytical approaches that helped him evaluate opportunities and challenges, while ensuring that all decisions and implementations were entirely his own choices based on his professional knowledge and personal priorities, rather than family pressure or inappropriate influence that might compromise his individual achievement and professional reputation throughout the competitive technology consulting and digital marketing industry." During Daniel's mid-20s, when he had been considering whether to accept a senior marketing manager position at TechVantage that would require significant client relationship responsibility and team coordination, our discussions had provided comprehensive analysis of the career implications, professional development opportunities, and long-term business trajectory considerations that helped him understand the full scope of the opportunity while ensuring the choice was entirely his own based on personal goals and professional satisfaction rather than family expectations. "I want to make sure I'm evaluating this senior position for the right reasons, and with complete understanding of both the advancement opportunities and management obligations involved," Daniel had explained when seeking my perspective on the career development possibility that would significantly enhance his professional responsibilities and industry influence. "Your experience with professional management and long-term strategic planning helps me understand considerations that might not be obvious from my current position within the firm." The guidance I provided had been based on legal expertise and analytical capability rather than family authority or emotional manipulation that might compromise his decision-making autonomy. I helped him develop systematic approaches to evaluating the position requirements, understanding the client relationship responsibilities and project coordination obligations, and assessing whether the opportunity aligned with his personal values and long-term career goals that would affect his professional satisfaction and industry advancement throughout his marketing and technology consulting career. But the final decision had been entirely his own, based on individual judgment about professional challenge and career development priorities that reflected his personal ambitions and strategic thinking rather than family influence or business pressure that might compromise his individual achievement and professional independence throughout the technology consulting and digital marketing industry. When Daniel had ultimately accepted the senior marketing manager position, the celebration dinner we shared had been genuine recognition of his individual achievement and professional competence, rather than family pride in reflected glory or inherited advantages that might diminish his personal accomplishment and career success. I was proud of his advancement because it represented the culmination of years of hard work, creative thinking, and ethical professional behavior that demonstrated character and capability that would serve him well throughout his career and personal life. The professional mentorship that built deep trust. The professional planning conversations that had become a regular part of our relationship weren't attempts to control his decisions or maintain inappropriate influence over his career choices and professional development. Instead, they were collaborative discussions that helped Daniel understand market analysis techniques, client relationship strategies, and long-term business development approaches that could enhance his professional capabilities and industry success, while ensuring his decision-making remained entirely autonomous and based on personal priorities rather than family pressure or business expectations. I appreciate having access to sophisticated strategic analysis and professional planning expertise that helps me make better decisions about my own career and project development," Daniel had said during discussions about professional advancement and industry positioning that had become more sophisticated as he gained experience and responsibility throughout his marketing career. Your legal background helps me understand strategic considerations and analytical frameworks that I might not recognize on my own. But I know the choices are always mine to make based on my own professional judgment and career goals. The professional guidance had included comprehensive education about technology industry analysis and client relationship dynamics, not to create pressure or obligation, but to ensure Daniel understood industry patterns and could make informed decisions about career risks and project investments, without concern about basic professional competence that was already established through family business education and strategic planning experience. Daniel had always known that our family's legal connections could provide valuable professional networking and career development opportunities if he ever needed them, including detailed information about business law compliance requirements, contract negotiation resources, and the collaborative approaches that governed access to family professional resources and industry influence throughout Boston's business community. This transparency had been deliberately designed to prevent exactly the kind of manipulation and professional pressure that predators typically employed against family relationships and business connections. Because Daniel understood that family legal resources were available through collaborative planning and mutual respect, rather than inheritance relationships or emotional manipulation that might compromise professional integrity and individual achievement. The career planning discussions had been matter-of-fact conversations about professional development and strategic thinking, rather than dramatic revelations or family secrets that might create pressure or inappropriate influence over personal decisions and career choices. Daniel understood that family legal connections were designed to enhance rather than control his professional options, and that access to legal resources was contingent on maintaining character and family relationships rather than specific career decisions or business choices that reflected his individual values and professional preferences. I've always appreciated that our family professional relationships are designed to support my individual independence and personal goals, rather than create dependency or obligation that might compromise my decision-making. Daniel had mentioned during strategic planning discussions that had become more detailed as he approached his 30s and began considering major professional decisions about partnership opportunities and long-term career commitments. Knowing that family legal resources are available allows me to make choices about career development based on genuine professional interest and personal satisfaction, rather than financial considerations that might influence my judgment for the wrong reasons. The family professional arrangements had included specific protections against business manipulation and career exploitation, with legal relationships designed to ensure that family resources remained under family control regardless of romantic relationships or business partnerships that might create conflicts of interest or compromise professional independence and individual achievement throughout career development and industry advancement. These protective measures weren't designed to control Daniel's personal choices or interfere with his romantic relationships, but rather to ensure that family legal resources continued to serve family values and priorities, rather than being exploited by individuals who might attempt to gain access to established legal connections through strategic relationship development and systematic manipulation of family dynamics for personal advantage and professional advancement. Daniel had always understood and appreciated these protective arrangements because they enhanced rather than limited his autonomy in both professional and romantic relationships. He could pursue career opportunities based on genuine professional interest and strategic thinking, without concern that potential business partners might be motivated by family connection considerations rather than his individual competence and creative capabilities. The family professional protection arrangements actually give me more freedom in business relationships, because I know that anyone who's interested in working with me must be genuinely interested in my individual capabilities rather than family legal connections. Daniel had explained during conversations about career development and business relationship management that had characterized his professional growth throughout his 20s and early 30s. I can focus on building relationships based on professional competence and creative collaboration without worrying about people who might be motivated by family business considerations rather than genuine professional partnership. The romantic relationships that tested our family values. The protective legal structures had been tested and proven effective during Daniel's previous serious relationship with Jennifer Walsh, a financial analyst whom he had dated for almost 5 years during his late 20s. Jennifer had been genuinely welcomed into our family and had participated in holiday celebrations and family events with obvious comfort and mutual enjoyment, demonstrating exactly the kind of family integration and professional respect that the protective arrangements were designed to support and encourage. Jennifer had shown genuine interest in our family's legal service history and professional development background, had contributed meaningfully to family conversations and celebrations, and had demonstrated the kind of character and values that indicated long-term compatibility with family priorities and professional principles that enhanced rather than threatened career relationships and legal connections. Her professional accomplishments in financial analysis complemented Daniel's work in marketing and technology consulting, and their shared commitment to ethical business practices and client service reflected values that enhanced rather than conflicted with family professional principles and legal service standards that had characterized Hartwell family involvement in professional service and community leadership throughout multiple decades of professional success and community involvement. Jennifer feels like a natural addition to our family and professional relationships. I had mentioned to Daniel during conversations about his relationship development and long-term compatibility considerations that might affect both personal happiness and professional collaboration throughout their partnership development. She contributes to family gatherings and professional discussions in ways that enhance everyone's understanding while demonstrating genuine interest in building relationships, rather than simply fulfilling social obligations or positioning herself for advantage. When Daniel and Jennifer had ultimately ended their relationship due to career opportunities that would have required long-distance separation and conflicting professional priorities, the decision had been mutual and amicable, based on practical considerations rather than fundamental incompatibility or family disapproval that might have created lasting tension or negative feelings about family involvement in relationship evaluation and professional development support. Jennifer had continued to maintain friendly contact with our family even after the romantic relationship ended, demonstrating the kind of character and genuine family affection that indicated authentic relationship development, rather than strategic positioning for professional advantage or legal access that might disappear when romantic relationships concluded for practical or professional reasons. I'll always be grateful for the way your family welcomed me and made me feel like a genuine part of your celebrations and professional discussions, Jennifer had said during a conversation several months after her relationship with Daniel had concluded. The experience helped me understand what healthy family-professional relationships look like, and what I should look for in future romantic partnerships and career collaboration opportunities. The contrast between Jennifer's genuine family integration and Daniel's later systematic neglect would eventually become stark evidence of the different character development and value priorities that distinguished authentic family relationship maintenance from entitled assumption of automatic family benefits without corresponding demonstration of care, respect, or genuine family contribution. The family traditions that built deep connection. The holiday celebrations during those golden years had been joyful occasions that brought together extended family members and close friends for celebrations that reflected our shared values and traditions while accommodating individual preferences and scheduling requirements that respected everyone's personal commitments and relationship priorities throughout the professional and social communities. Christmas celebrations had included elaborate family dinners with traditional recipes and menu items that had been passed down through previous generations of Hartwell family professional service involvement, combined with contemporary additions and modifications that reflected changing family preferences and dietary considerations that made celebrations inclusive and enjoyable for everyone who participated in family gatherings and traditional observances. The gift-giving traditions had emphasized thoughtful selection and personal significance rather than expensive display or competitive spending that might create pressure or inappropriate focus on material considerations, rather than family connection and relationship appreciation that represented the authentic meaning and emotional satisfaction of holiday celebrations and family traditions. I always look forward to our family celebrations because they provide consistent opportunities for connection and tradition that enhance rather than complicate my individual life and professional responsibilities, Daniel had mentioned during holiday planning discussions that had characterized our collaborative approach to family gathering coordination and tradition maintenance. The celebrations feel authentic and meaningful, rather than obligatory or stressful, which makes them genuinely rewarding experiences that I want to share with anyone I'm in a serious relationship with. The family celebration traditions had provided natural opportunities for evaluating romantic partners and assessing their compatibility with family values and professional relationships, while also creating enjoyable social experiences that enhanced rather than threatened individual romantic relationships through positive family integration and mutual support for relationship development and long-term compatibility. The summer vacation traditions had included annual family trips to our lake cottage in the Berkshire Mountains, where Daniel and I would spend a week each July enjoying outdoor activities, recreational boating, and leisurely conversations that provided uninterrupted time for family connection and relationship maintenance without the distractions and scheduling pressures that characterize normal daily routines and professional responsibilities. These annual retreat experiences had been particularly valuable for maintaining family communication and collaborative problem-solving throughout Daniel's professional development and personal growth, providing systematic opportunities for discussing challenges and opportunities while enjoying recreational activities and natural settings that enhanced perspective and strategic thinking about life priorities and relationship development. Our annual lake cottage weeks have become some of my favorite family memories because they provide time and space for the kind of deep conversations and relationship building that's hard to maintain during busy professional schedules and daily responsibilities. Daniel had said during vacation planning discussions that had become more important as his career demands and social obligations had increased throughout his 30s. The lake cottage traditions had also provided natural opportunities for romantic partners to experience extended family interaction and participate in family activities that revealed character and compatibility factors that might not be obvious during shorter social gatherings or formal family events that provided limited insight into personality and relationship dynamics under relaxed circumstances and collaborative activities. Jennifer Walsh had participated in 4 annual lake cottage vacations during her relationship with Daniel, demonstrating exactly the kind of family integration and genuine enjoyment that indicated authentic relationship development and compatibility with family values and social dynamics that enhanced rather than complicated family relationships and long-term partnership potential. Jennifer's enthusiasm for family activities and genuine interest in family stories and professional traditions shows exactly the kind of character and family appreciation that makes romantic partners welcome additions to family celebrations. I had observed during vacation experiences that had provided comprehensive opportunities for relationship assessment and compatibility evaluation under extended social interaction circumstances and collaborative activity participation. The contrast between Jennifer's authentic family integration and Daniel's later systematic neglect would eventually provide stark evidence of different character development and priority systems that distinguished genuine family relationship maintenance from entitled assumption of automatic family benefits without corresponding demonstration of care, respect, or family contribution. The professional support that strengthened our bond. The professional mentorship aspects of our relationship during those golden years had been particularly rewarding for both of us, providing opportunities for me to share insights and expertise from my legal career while supporting Daniel's professional development and strategic thinking without crossing boundaries into inappropriate control or The relationship between my son Daniel and me hadn't always been poisoned by entitlement and systematic neglect of family responsibilities. For nearly 3 decades before Daniel revealed his true character during my illness, we had built something genuinely beautiful, a mother-son bond characterized by mutual respect, collaborative life planning, and the kind of unconditional love that created both personal fulfillment and practical advantages for his professional development and personal growth throughout his entire adult life as a successful marketing executive in the technology industry. Those golden years of our relationship weren't marked by dependency or financial obligation, but rather by voluntary collaboration and mutual support that provided benefits for both of us, while respecting individual autonomy and personal goals that complemented rather than conflicted with our family connection, and shared values about professional integrity, personal responsibility, and collaborative problem-solving that had characterized Hartwell family traditions for multiple generations. Sometimes Daniel needed to make independent decisions and pursue separate priorities that enhanced rather than threatened our relationship, and I had always encouraged his professional independence while offering strategic guidance and career planning expertise when he sought it. From the time Daniel graduated from Boston University's School of Management until his systematic neglect campaign began in late 2024, Our interactions had been characterized by regular communication that enhanced rather than limited his individual development and professional success in digital marketing and technology consulting. I provided strategic career guidance that supported his professional advancement without creating dependency, and we maintained family traditions that offered emotional satisfaction and practical benefits without requiring sacrifice of personal relationships or career opportunities that might take him in different directions from family expectations or business involvement that could complicate his individual achievement and professional reputation throughout Boston's competitive technology and marketing industry. Daniel's professional development and early success. Daniel had established himself as a highly successful digital marketing director at TechVantage Solutions, one of the premier technology consulting firms in the Boston metropolitan area. His specialty in enterprise software marketing and client relationship management had earned significant recognition throughout the regional business community, and his marketing campaigns had been featured in industry publications that demonstrated exceptional professional performance and innovative strategic thinking that reflected sophisticated understanding of contemporary business development principles and corporate client management. But what had once made me incredibly proud wasn't just his professional success. It was the way he had achieved it through individual effort, creative thinking, and ethical business practices, while maintaining strong family relationships and personal values that reflected the principles we had always shared about hard work, professional integrity, and collaborative problem-solving that enhanced rather than compromised personal relationships and community involvement throughout his career development and social advancement. Our weekly family dinner tradition had begun when Daniel first established his own apartment after college graduation in 2012. Every Sunday evening, he would drive down from Boston to my house on Elm Street for elaborate home-cooked meals and conversation that ranged from professional challenges and career planning to personal relationships and life philosophy that provided consistent family connection without interfering with his individual social life and romantic relationships that were developing throughout his 20s and early 30s. These weren't obligatory family visits driven by guilt or expectation. They were genuinely enjoyable gatherings that we both looked forward to, and that provided systematic opportunities for family communication and collaborative problem-solving that enhanced his strategic thinking and decision-making capabilities, while maintaining emotional connection and mutual support that strengthened rather than limited his individual development and professional success. "Mom, I actually turned down a client dinner today because I didn't want to miss our Sunday tradition," Daniel had mentioned during one of our regular gatherings in spring 2018. These weekly conversations help me think through challenges and opportunities in ways that I just can't replicate anywhere else. Your perspective on professional relationship management and strategic planning has been invaluable for my career development and success throughout the technology industry. Quote, "The weekly dinners had provided natural opportunities for me to share insights from my legal career and estate planning experience that could enhance Daniel's client relationship strategies and business development approaches without crossing boundaries into inappropriate involvement in his professional activities or decision-making processes that needed to remain entirely under his control and direction based on his professional judgment and marketing expertise. I could offer strategic thinking frameworks and analytical approaches that helped him evaluate opportunities and challenges, while ensuring that all decisions and implementations were entirely his own choices based on his professional knowledge and personal priorities, rather than family pressure or inappropriate influence that might compromise his individual achievement and professional reputation throughout the competitive technology consulting and digital marketing industry." During Daniel's mid-20s, when he had been considering whether to accept a senior marketing manager position at TechVantage that would require significant client relationship responsibility and team coordination, our discussions had provided comprehensive analysis of the career implications, professional development opportunities, and long-term business trajectory considerations that helped him understand the full scope of the opportunity while ensuring the choice was entirely his own based on personal goals and professional satisfaction rather than family expectations. "I want to make sure I'm evaluating this senior position for the right reasons, and with complete understanding of both the advancement opportunities and management obligations involved," Daniel had explained when seeking my perspective on the career development possibility that would significantly enhance his professional responsibilities and industry influence. "Your experience with professional management and long-term strategic planning helps me understand considerations that might not be obvious from my current position within the firm." The guidance I provided had been based on legal expertise and analytical capability rather than family authority or emotional manipulation that might compromise his decision-making autonomy. I helped him develop systematic approaches to evaluating the position requirements, understanding the client relationship responsibilities and project coordination obligations, and assessing whether the opportunity aligned with his personal values and long-term career goals that would affect his professional satisfaction and industry advancement throughout his marketing and technology consulting career. But the final decision had been entirely his own, based on individual judgment about professional challenge and career development priorities that reflected his personal ambitions and strategic thinking rather than family influence or business pressure that might compromise his individual achievement and professional independence throughout the technology consulting and digital marketing industry. When Daniel had ultimately accepted the senior marketing manager position, the celebration dinner we shared had been genuine recognition of his individual achievement and professional competence, rather than family pride in reflected glory or inherited advantages that might diminish his personal accomplishment and career success. I was proud of his advancement because it represented the culmination of years of hard work, creative thinking, and ethical professional behavior that demonstrated character and capability that would serve him well throughout his career and personal life. The professional mentorship that built deep trust. The professional planning conversations that had become a regular part of our relationship weren't attempts to control his decisions or maintain inappropriate influence over his career choices and professional development. Instead, they were collaborative discussions that helped Daniel understand market analysis techniques, client relationship strategies, and long-term business development approaches that could enhance his professional capabilities and industry success, while ensuring his decision-making remained entirely autonomous and based on personal priorities rather than family pressure or business expectations. I appreciate having access to sophisticated strategic analysis and professional planning expertise that helps me make better decisions about my own career and project development, Daniel had said during discussions about professional advancement and industry positioning that had become more sophisticated as he gained experience and responsibility throughout his marketing career. Your legal background helps me understand strategic considerations and analytical frameworks that I might not recognize on my own. But I know the choices are always mine to make based on my own professional judgment and career goals. The professional guidance had included comprehensive education about technology industry analysis and client relationship dynamics, not to create pressure or obligation, but to ensure Daniel understood industry patterns and could make informed decisions about career risks and project investments, without concern about basic professional competence that was already established through family business education and strategic planning experience. Daniel had always known that our family's legal connections could provide valuable professional networking and career development opportunities if he ever needed them, including detailed information about business law compliance requirements, contract negotiation resources, and the collaborative approaches that governed access to family professional resources and industry influence throughout Boston's business community. This transparency had been deliberately designed to prevent exactly the kind of manipulation and professional pressure that predators typically employed against family relationships and business connections. Because Daniel understood that family legal resources were available through collaborative planning and mutual respect, rather than inheritance relationships or emotional manipulation that might compromise professional integrity and individual achievement. The career planning discussions had been matter-of-fact conversations about professional development and strategic thinking, rather than dramatic revelations or family secrets that might create pressure or inappropriate influence over personal decisions and career choices. Daniel understood that family legal connections were designed to enhance rather than control his professional options, and that access to legal resources was contingent on maintaining character and family relationships rather than specific career decisions or business choices that reflected his individual values and professional preferences. I've always appreciated that our family professional relationships are designed to support my individual independence and personal goals, rather than create dependency or obligation that might compromise my decision-making, Daniel had mentioned during strategic planning discussions that had become more detailed as he approached his 30s and began considering major professional decisions about partnership opportunities and long-term career commitments. Knowing that family legal resources are available allows me to make choices about career development based on genuine professional interest and personal satisfaction, rather than financial considerations that might influence my judgment for the wrong reasons. The family professional arrangements had included specific protections against business manipulation and career exploitation, with legal relationships designed to ensure that family resources remained under family control regardless of romantic relationships or business partnerships that might create conflicts of interest or compromise professional independence and individual achievement throughout career development and industry advancement. These protective measures weren't designed to control Daniel's personal choices or interfere with his romantic relationships, but rather to ensure that family legal resources continued to serve family values and priorities, rather than being exploited by individuals who might attempt to gain access to established legal connections through strategic relationship development and systematic manipulation of family dynamics for personal advantage and professional advancement. Daniel had always understood and appreciated these protective arrangements because they enhanced rather than limited his autonomy in both professional and romantic relationships. He could pursue career opportunities based on genuine professional interest and strategic thinking, without concern that potential business partners might be motivated by family connection considerations rather than his individual competence and creative capabilities. The family professional protection arrangements actually give me more freedom in business relationships, because I know that anyone who's interested in working with me must be genuinely interested in my individual capabilities rather than family legal connections. Daniel had explained during conversations about career development and business relationship management that had characterized his professional growth throughout his 20s and early 30s. I can focus on building relationships based on professional competence and creative collaboration without worrying about people who might be motivated by family business considerations rather than genuine professional partnership. The romantic relationships that tested our family values. The protective legal structures had been tested and proven effective during Daniel's previous serious relationship with Jennifer Walsh, a financial analyst whom he had dated for almost 5 years during his late 20s. Jennifer had been genuinely welcomed into our family and had participated in holiday celebrations and family events with obvious comfort and mutual enjoyment, demonstrating exactly the kind of family integration and professional respect that the protective arrangements were designed to support and encourage. Jennifer had shown genuine interest in our family's legal service history and professional development background, had contributed meaningfully to family conversations and celebrations, and had demonstrated the kind of character and values that indicated long-term compatibility with family priorities and professional principles that enhanced rather than threatened career relationships and legal connections. Her professional accomplishments in financial analysis complemented Daniel's work in marketing and technology consulting, and their shared commitment to ethical business practices and client service reflected values that enhanced rather than conflicted with family professional principles and legal service standards that had characterized Hartwell family involvement in professional service and community leadership throughout multiple decades of professional success and community involvement. Jennifer feels like would prove essential in documenting every phase of Daniel's systematic neglect campaign. The first warning sign appeared during our weekly family dinner in March 2022, approximately 3 months after I had mentioned during casual conversation that I had been experiencing some minor joint stiffness and occasional fatigue that my doctor was monitoring as normal aging processes. Daniel's response to this routine health update revealed the beginning of a calculated withdrawal that had nothing to do with legitimate busy schedules and everything to do with strategic avoidance of family responsibility. "Mom, I've been thinking about our weekly dinners, and I'm wondering if we should make them more flexible," Daniel had announced with a casualness that concealed systematic preparation for family obligation reduction. "My work schedule has been getting more demanding, and I'm finding it harder to commit to every Sunday evening. Maybe we could do it every other week, or just when it's convenient for both of us." The language Daniel used had been carefully chosen to sound reasonable and practical, while actually introducing concepts about convenience and flexibility that fundamentally changed our family tradition from consistent commitment to optional activity based on his personal schedule and priorities. The shift from our established pattern of regular family connection to his assumption of scheduling authority represented a fundamental change in family hierarchy that had never been discussed or agreed upon through our collaborative relationship approach. But what made Daniel's new approach particularly concerning was his systematic introduction of professional importance terminology and career priority concepts that seemed designed to justify his reduced family involvement, while positioning my normal aging process as less important than his business advancement and professional networking obligations. I've been taking on more high-profile projects at TechVantage, and there are networking events and client meetings that sometimes happen on weekends, Daniel had continued during that March dinner, presenting his career advancement as automatic justification for family relationship reduction. I'm sure you understand that these opportunities are important for my professional development and long-term success. The manipulation had been sophisticated and strategic, using apparent professional necessity and career advancement to create legitimacy for Daniel's increasing family avoidance, while concealing his true objectives for reducing family commitment and care responsibility, without having to explicitly reject family values or relationship obligations. What I found most revealing was Daniel's obvious expectation that I would immediately understand and accept his reduced availability, while making no corresponding adjustments to accommodate my own changing needs or desire for continued family connection. His approach suggested that he had expected automatic family relationship modification based on his convenience, rather than the collaborative discussion and mutual consideration that had always characterized our family decision-making. I understand that your career is important, Daniel, but I value our weekly tradition and would prefer to maintain some consistency in our family connection, I had responded, maintaining clear boundaries while observing his reaction to my continued expectation of family commitment. Perhaps we could discuss scheduling adjustments that work for both of us, rather than simply making our gatherings optional based on your work obligations. Daniel's expression had revealed disappointment and something approaching irritation that my family expectations weren't automatically adjusting to accommodate his professional priorities. His response suggested that he had been hoping for immediate agreement and family relationship reduction, rather than collaborative problem-solving that might require him to maintain family commitment alongside career advancement. The second phase of Daniel's transformation involved systematic creation of distance and reduced family engagement that went far beyond normal career advancement pressures to include strategic avoidance of family activities and systematic reduction of family communication frequency and emotional connection. Throughout spring 2022, Daniel began implementing what appeared to be increased professional focus, but was actually comprehensive family relationship withdrawal and systematic reduction of family participation and care demonstration. His approach revealed careful planning designed to minimize family commitment while maintaining the appearance of career necessity and professional importance. I'm going to have to miss our next family dinner because of a client presentation, Daniel had announced during our April gathering, presenting work obligations as automatic family priority override. This project is really important for my career advancement, and I need to spend the weekend preparing and networking with potential new clients. The systematic scheduling conflicts had been presented as temporary career demands, but their frequency and timing revealed strategic planning designed to reduce family commitment and care responsibility while maintaining the appearance of legitimate professional necessity and career advancement that couldn't be questioned or criticized without seeming to oppose his success and professional development. During these reduced interactions, Daniel displayed decreased interest in my daily activities, health management, and personal welfare that seemed designed to minimize family involvement and care responsibility, while creating emotional distance that could justify further family relationship reduction and systematic neglect of family obligations. How are things going with your retirement activities? Daniel had asked during one of his increasingly brief family visits, using general questions that avoided specific interest in my well-being, while maintaining the appearance of family concern and relationship maintenance. The systematic reduction of genuine family interest revealed Daniel's strategic thinking about creating emotional distance and care avoidance that could support arguments for reduced family involvement and responsibility. His approach suggested comprehensive planning for establishing minimal family commitment, while maintaining the appearance of reasonable family relationship management. But what made Daniel's family withdrawal particularly insidious was his careful documentation of any minor challenges or temporary difficulties I experienced, which he systematically interpreted as evidence that I was becoming more demanding or needy, rather than recognizing normal family support opportunities that require genuine care and attention. "I noticed that you seemed tired during our last visit," Daniel had mentioned during a phone call, transforming normal fatigue into evidence of increasing burden and family responsibility that justified his continued withdrawal and distance creation. "I hope you're not pushing yourself too hard or expecting too much family involvement when you need to focus on managing your own health and independence." The systematic misrepresentation of normal family interaction and mutual support into burden and excessive expectation revealed Daniel's comprehensive strategy for creating justification and emotional framework for family neglect, while positioning himself as reasonable and caring despite his systematic abandonment of family responsibility and care obligations. Throughout summer 2022, Daniel's transformation escalated to include systematic prioritization of professional activities and social obligations over family relationship maintenance and care demonstration, revealing growing entitlement and assumption that family relationships should automatically accommodate his convenience, rather than requiring mutual consideration and collaborative planning. His approach became increasingly demanding and entitled, revealing growing frustration with any family expectations or care needs that conflicted with his professional priorities and social activities that provided more immediate gratification and career advancement than family relationship maintenance and responsibility demonstration. "I need to cancel our dinner plans this week because I've been invited to a networking event that could lead to some really important business connections," Daniel had announced during a July phone call, using career advancement to justify family commitment abandonment while expecting immediate understanding and acceptance rather than discussion or collaborative scheduling adjustment. The systematic prioritization of professional networking and career advancement over family relationship maintenance represented a fundamental shift from our collaborative family values to Daniel's assumption of automatic family sacrifice for his convenience and professional benefit, without corresponding care or consideration for family needs and relationship priorities. But perhaps most concerning was Daniel's systematic attempts to redefine family relationship expectations and care responsibilities, positioning himself as too important and successful to maintain the level of family involvement and support that had characterized our relationship throughout his professional development and personal growth. "I think it's important for both of us to maintain independence and avoid becoming too dependent on family relationships for social interaction and personal fulfillment," Daniel had suggested during one of our increasingly infrequent conversations, using independence terminology to justify family relationship reduction and care avoidance. "You should probably develop more activities and social connections that don't require my participation or availability." The manipulation of independence concepts and social development guidance revealed Daniel's systematic strategy for eliminating family responsibility, while positioning his neglect as beneficial advice for my personal growth and social development, rather than systematic abandonment of family values and care obligations. During August 2022, Daniel's family devaluation escalated to include systematic reduction of family tradition, participation, and care demonstration, replacing our established patterns of mutual support and relationship maintenance with minimal contact and strategic avoidance of any family activities that might require time, effort, or emotional investment from his increasingly busy and important professional life. "I'm going to have to skip our annual lake cottage vacation this year," Daniel had announced with apparent regret that concealed strategic family tradition abandonment. "I've got several major projects at work that require my attention throughout the summer, and I really can't afford to take time away from these career opportunities." Quote, "The abandonment of family traditions that had been central to our relationship for over a decade revealed Daniel's systematic transformation from family-centered values to professional priority thinking that positioned family relationships as optional activities that could be eliminated when they conflicted with career advancement and social opportunities that provided more immediate personal benefit." The most devastating evidence of Daniel's character transformation would emerge during my health challenges in late 2022 and early 2023, when I experienced several medical issues that required family support and care coordination that should have been natural opportunities for Daniel to demonstrate the family values and mutual support that had always characterized our relationship. In October 2022, I had a minor fall that resulted in a sprained ankle and temporary mobility limitation that required assistance with grocery shopping, medication management, and transportation to medical appointments. What should have been a simple opportunity for Daniel to provide temporary family support became instead a comprehensive demonstration of exactly how thoroughly he had abandoned family care responsibilities in favor of professional priorities and personal convenience. "Mom, I'm really sorry to hear about your fall, but I'm in the middle of a major product launch at work that requires all of my attention," Daniel had responded when I contacted him about needing assistance with basic daily activities during my recovery. "Maybe you could arrange for grocery delivery, or hire someone to help with transportation until you're feeling better." The immediate deflection to commercial solutions and professional excuse-making revealed Daniel's systematic transformation from family member who provided mutual support to distant relative who viewed family needs as inconveniences that should be handled through paid services rather than family care and relationship demonstration. But what made Daniel's response particularly devastating was his obvious expectation that I would understand and accept his professional priorities, while managing my health challenges through commercial services and hired assistance rather than family support that had always been fundamental to our relationship during times of need. "I understand that your work is important, but I was hoping for some family support during this temporary difficulty," I had responded, providing Daniel with an opportunity to recognize family values and care responsibility while observing his reaction to basic family expectation and relationship maintenance. Daniel's irritation and defensive response revealed the complete transformation of his character and family priorities, demonstrating that he now viewed family care responsibilities as unreasonable demands rather than natural opportunities for mutual support and relationship maintenance that had always characterized our family values. "I think it's unrealistic to expect me to disrupt my professional responsibilities every time you have a minor health issue," Daniel had replied with obvious frustration. "You're going to need to develop more independence and self-reliance, rather than depending on family members to manage every challenge or difficulty you experience." The systematic reframing of basic family support as dependency and unreasonable expectation revealed Daniel's comprehensive character transformation and systematic abandonment of family values in favor of professional selfishness and care responsibility avoidance that positioned his success as more important than family relationships and mutual support obligations. During winter 2022-2023, Daniel's character transformation had reached the point where he was systematically avoiding family contact and care responsibility while maintaining minimal communication that preserved the appearance of family relationship without requiring actual time, effort, or emotional investment that might interfere with his professional activities and social priorities. The systematic family neglect had been executed with strategic precision that revealed comprehensive planning for family responsibility, avoidance, and care obligation elimination, while maintaining the appearance of reasonable family relationship management and professional necessity that couldn't be criticized without seeming to oppose his career success. Daniel's communication had become increasingly brief and focused on his professional achievements and social activities, rather than family welfare or relationship maintenance, revealing his systematic transformation from family-centered thinking to self-centered priority management that positioned family relationships as burdens rather than sources of mutual support and emotional satisfaction. "Things are going really well at work, and I've been networking with some important industry contacts," Daniel had mentioned during one of his increasingly rare phone calls, using professional success reports to justify reduced family contact while avoiding any genuine interest in my well-being or family relationship maintenance. The systematic focus on professional achievement and social advancement rather than family welfare and relationship quality revealed Daniel's comprehensive priority transformation and character deterioration that positioned family relationships as less important than career advancement and personal success demonstration. But perhaps most devastating was Daniel's systematic implementation of family contact reduction and care avoidance strategies that created maximum emotional distance while maintaining minimal relationship maintenance that preserved the appearance of family connection without requiring genuine family commitment or care responsibility demonstration. "I've been really busy with work and social obligations, so I might not be able to call or visit as regularly as before," Daniel had announced during a February 2023 conversation, presenting systematic family neglect as temporary scheduling difficulty rather than comprehensive character transformation and care responsibility abandonment. The strategic preparation for family contact reduction revealed Daniel's systematic planning for relationship abandonment while maintaining the appearance of career necessity and professional importance that justified family neglect without explicit rejection of family values or relationship obligations. The final and most devastating evidence of Daniel's character transformation would emerge during my pneumonia crisis in November 2024, when I experienced a serious health emergency that required immediate family support and care coordination that should have triggered automatic family response and care responsibility demonstration from any son who maintained basic family values and relationship commitment. The pneumonia had developed rapidly during the first week of November, progressing from minor cold symptoms to serious respiratory illness that required medical treatment, medication management, and basic daily assistance that I couldn't manage independently during the acute phase of the illness. My first contact with Daniel about my health crisis had revealed the complete scope of his character transformation and systematic abandonment of family care responsibility in favor of professional priorities and personal convenience that positioned his work obligations as more important than family emergency response and care demonstration. Daniel, I wanted to let you know that I've been diagnosed with pneumonia and I'm going to need some assistance with groceries, medication pickups, and transportation to follow-up appointments while I recover, I had explained during our phone conversation, providing him with clear information about my health situation and specific assistance needs that represented basic family support during medical crisis. Daniel's immediate response revealed the devastating transformation from caring family member to distant relative who viewed family health emergencies as inconveniences that should be managed through commercial services rather than family care, and emergency response that demonstrated basic human decency and family relationship commitment. Mom, I'm really sorry you're not feeling well, but I'm in the middle of a critical project deadline that requires my complete attention for the next few weeks, Daniel had responded with apparent concern that concealed systematic family emergency abandonment. Maybe you could use grocery delivery services and ask your neighbors for help with transportation until you're feeling better. The immediate deflection to commercial solutions and neighbor assistance revealed Daniel's comprehensive abandonment of family emergency responsibility and systematic transformation into someone who viewed family health crises as problems to be outsourced rather than opportunities for family care demonstration and relationship maintenance during times of genuine need. But what made Daniel's emergency response failure particularly devastating was his systematic implementation of professional excuse-making and work priority justification that positioned his career obligations as automatically more important than family health emergencies and care responsibilities that required immediate attention and family support demonstration. This project launch is really critical for my career advancement, and I can't afford any disruptions to my work schedule during this crucial period, Daniel had continued, using professional advancement to justify family emergency abandonment, while expecting understanding and acceptance rather than recognition of family values and care responsibility priorities. The systematic prioritization of career advancement over family health emergency response revealed Daniel's complete character transformation and comprehensive abandonment of basic family values in favor of professional selfishness and care responsibility avoidance that positioned his success as more important than family well-being and emergency support obligations. Over the following 3 weeks of my pneumonia recovery, Daniel's systematic neglect and family emergency abandonment provided comprehensive documentation of his character transformation and care responsibility failure that exceeded even my professional experience with family relationship deterioration and systematic neglect patterns. Throughout the entire recovery period, Daniel maintained minimal contact that preserved the appearance of family concern while providing no actual assistance, care demonstration, or family support that might require time, effort, or inconvenience to his professional schedule and social activities. His communication during my illness consisted of brief text messages and occasional phone calls that inquired about my recovery progress, while immediately transitioning to his professional achievements and work obligations that justified his continued absence and care responsibility avoidance. How are you feeling today? I hope you're getting better quickly. Things are still really crazy at work, so I probably won't be able to visit this week, but I wanted to check in and see how your recovery is going, Daniel had texted during the second week of my illness, providing minimal family contact while maintaining systematic care avoidance and responsibility abandonment. The strategic balance of apparent concern with systematic care avoidance revealed Daniel's comprehensive planning for maintaining family relationship appearance, while providing no actual support or assistance that might interfere with his professional priorities and personal convenience. But perhaps most devastating was Daniel's systematic implementation of excuse creation and justification development, that positioned every request for family support as unreasonable expectation, while presenting his work obligations as automatically more important than family health, emergency response, and care responsibility demonstration. When I had specifically requested assistance with grocery shopping during the third week of my recovery, Daniel's response had provided final confirmation of his complete character transformation and systematic family abandonment that exceeded even the worst family neglect patterns I had observed throughout my estate planning career. "Mom, I understand that you need help, but I'm really swamped with work right now, and grocery delivery is probably more convenient for both of us anyway," Daniel had responded to my request for basic family assistance. "I'm sure you understand that I can't drop everything every time you need something, especially when there are commercial solutions available that don't require my personal time and attention." The systematic reframing of basic family support during health crisis as unreasonable demand and commercial service preference revealed Daniel's comprehensive transformation from family member to distant relative, who viewed family care responsibilities as impositions rather than natural opportunities for relationship demonstration and mutual support during times of genuine need. The 3-week pattern of systematic neglect, excuse-making, and care responsibility avoidance had provided comprehensive documentation of Daniel's character deterioration that exceeded anything I had previously encountered in 4 decades of observing family relationship dynamics through estate planning practice. Throughout Daniel's systematic neglect campaign, my professional training in family assessment and character evaluation had been systematically documenting every aspect of his behavior transformation and care responsibility abandonment, using the same comprehensive analysis protocols that I had developed for estate planning, client evaluation, and inheritance decision-making. The behavioral documentation had included detailed analysis of Daniel's communication patterns, priority demonstration, care responsibility responses, and family value abandonment that provided objective evidence of systematic character deterioration and family relationship destruction that justified comprehensive inheritance modification and financial education implementation. Daniel's systematic prioritization of career advancement over family health emergency response demonstrates fundamental character transformation that violates basic family values and care responsibility standards I had noted in professional assessment documentation that recorded his behavior patterns and family relationship failure throughout the pneumonia crisis. The character assessment protocols that I had developed throughout my estate planning career provided comprehensive frameworks for evaluating family member behavior and determining inheritance qualification based on demonstrated character and family relationship quality, rather than biological relationships or social expectations about automatic wealth transfer. The assessment had included behavioral pattern analysis, family value demonstration evaluation, care responsibility response measurement, and character transformation documentation that provided objective criteria for inheritance modification and financial education implementation based on Daniel's systematic family abandonment and care responsibility failure. The documented evidence of systematic family neglect and care responsibility abandonment provides clear justification for comprehensive inheritance restructuring and financial education implementation I had concluded in professional evaluation documentation that would guide inheritance modification decisions and family education strategy development. Dr. Sarah Martinez, a family relationship specialist who had collaborated with our estate planning practice on character assessment protocols, had reviewed the comprehensive behavior documentation and confirmed that Daniel's systematic neglect represented classic entitled behavior that justified inheritance modification and family education through financial consequence implementation. Daniel's behavior pattern demonstrates systematic transformation from family-centered values to entitled selfishness that prioritizes personal convenience over family relationship obligations. Drive. Martinez had explained during professional consultation about inheritance modification, justification, and family education strategy development. The professional analysis had confirmed that immediate inheritance restructuring and financial education could be implemented through estate planning modification and family wealth management that would eliminate Daniel's assumptions about automatic inheritance while providing clear demonstration of the connection between family behavior and financial benefits. The culminating moment that would trigger Daniel's comprehensive financial education occurred during the final week of my pneumonia recovery. when his systematic neglect and care responsibility abandonment had provided irrefutable evidence of character transformation that justified immediate inheritance modification and family wealth restructuring that would serve as permanent education about family values and relationship responsibility. Daniel's final demonstration of systematic family abandonment had occurred when I specifically requested assistance with transportation to a follow-up medical appointment that was crucial for ensuring complete recovery and preventing complications that could arise from inadequate medical monitoring during the recovery process. Daniel, I need to get to my follow-up appointment with Dr. Johnson tomorrow afternoon, and I'm still not comfortable driving while I'm recovering from this pneumonia, I had explained during our phone conversation, providing him with clear medical necessity and specific assistance request that represented basic family support during health crisis resolution. Daniel's response had provided final confirmation of his complete character transformation and comprehensive family care responsibility abandonment that exceeded even the worst neglect patterns documented in my professional estate planning experience. Mom, I can't take time off work for medical appointments, especially when there are taxi services and medical transportation options available, Daniel had replied with obvious irritation that revealed his systematic transformation from caring family member to distant relative who viewed family medical support as unreasonable imposition. You're going to need to arrange your own transportation and stop expecting me to drop everything whenever you need something. Quote, the explicit rejection of family medical support responsibility and systematic reframing of basic care assistance as unreasonable expectation had provided final documentation of Daniel's character deterioration and family value abandonment that justified immediate inheritance modification and comprehensive financial education implementation. The professional assessment and behavioral documentation had been completed, the character transformation had been comprehensively analyzed, and Daniel's systematic family abandonment had provided irrefutable justification for inheritance restructuring that would serve as permanent education about the connection between family behavior and financial consequences. Daniel's 3-week demonstration of systematic neglect and care responsibility abandonment during my health crisis had triggered the most comprehensive inheritance modification in our family's history, proving that some family relationships require financial education to restore basic respect and care demonstration that should be natural expressions of family values and relationship commitment. The quiet recovery period that Daniel had dismissed as inconvenient family obligation was about to become the foundation for inheritance restructuring that would demonstrate exactly what happens when you systematically abandon family care responsibilities while assuming automatic financial benefits regardless of character demonstration and family relationship quality. Have you ever watched someone transform from caring family member into entitled stranger who takes family relationships for granted? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. Because Daniel's systematic neglect campaign was about to encounter exactly the kind of devastating financial education that demonstrates why family care responsibilities and inheritance benefits are directly connected through character assessment and family value demonstration. If you're following this story of family transformation and systematic consequences, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Tomorrow, I'll reveal exactly how Daniel's systematic neglect and care responsibility abandonment reached its climax during my health crisis, triggering the inheritance modification that would serve as comprehensive education about family values, and the financial consequences of taking family medical responsibilities revealed the calculated entitlement and systematic family value abandonment that had characterized his entire neglect campaign. Within hours of his final refusal to assist with medical transportation, I had recognized that this wasn't just family relationship deterioration. This was comprehensive character failure that required immediate estate planning response through the professional protocols I had spent 4 decades developing for exactly this type of family situation. You're going to need to arrange your own transportation and stop expecting me to drop everything whenever you need something, Daniel had announced during his final care responsibility rejection, displaying the kind of casual dismissal of family obligations that revealed his complete transformation from caring family member to entitled stranger, who viewed inheritance as automatic regardless of character demonstration or family relationship quality. The immediate assumption that I would accept his systematic care abandonment while maintaining his inheritance expectations revealed Daniel's comprehensive miscalculation about both my professional background and the legal consequences that family neglect would automatically generate through established estate planning protocols and character assessment procedures. But what made Daniel's final rejection most revealing was his obvious satisfaction barely concealed beneath his performance of professional importance. His demeanor revealed completion and relief rather than genuine regret, demonstrating that this neglect had been the culmination of systematic family responsibility abandonment rather than temporary career pressure or scheduling difficulty. "I've made it clear that my work obligations have to take priority over family inconveniences," Daniel had continued, revealing comprehensive preparation for managing my response while maintaining access to inheritance benefits despite his systematic care responsibility failure and family relationship destruction. The systematic family management that Daniel attempted to implement had obviously been planned and prepared well in advance of his final care rejection. His immediate emotional manipulation revealed months of strategic preparation for overcoming family expectations, while maintaining financial benefits despite his comprehensive abandonment of family values and care responsibility. During the first hour following Daniel's final care abandonment, my estate planning training and professional experience immediately recognized the character deterioration patterns and systematic family value violation that required comprehensive inheritance modification rather than family relationship counseling or temporary consequence implementation. The estate planning protocols that I had helped develop throughout my career included automatic inheritance review procedures for beneficiary behavior that violated family values or demonstrated systematic care responsibility abandonment, providing systematic capability for immediate inheritance modification, and character-based financial education within hours of documented family neglect or comprehensive relationship failure. This is Eleanor Hartwell, requesting immediate activation of character-based inheritance modification protocol under Comprehensive Estate Planning Authority for documented family neglect and systematic care responsibility abandonment. I had communicated to my estate planning coordination team, using established emergency response procedures for immediate inheritance restructuring and beneficiary education implementation. The emergency protocols had been developed specifically for situations involving systematic family value violation and care responsibility abandonment, providing systematic capability for immediate estate planning response and comprehensive consequence implementation that could preserve family assets while eliminating entitled behavior and ensuring character-based inheritance distribution rather than automatic wealth transfer, regardless of beneficiary behavior. Marcus Rivera, my senior estate planning coordination specialist and inheritance modification director, had implemented immediate legal documentation and inheritance restructuring procedures within 6 hours of my estate planning authorization, activating comprehensive legal response protocols that would document every aspect of Daniel's character failure while building legally bulletproof inheritance modification and family education implementation. Eleanor's estate planning authorization provides comprehensive justification for immediate inheritance modification and character-based financial education, Marcus had explained during emergency coordination calls with legal personnel and professional network partners. Daniel's documented neglect and systematic care abandonment clearly violate established family values that require immediate inheritance restructuring and maximum educational consequences. The estate planning activation had included immediate communication with legal documentation networks and inheritance modification specialists throughout the region, ensuring that Daniel's neglect and family abandonment would be comprehensively addressed through character-based inheritance restructuring and permanent family education that demonstrated the connection between family behavior and financial consequences. Patricia Wong, my estate planning documentation director, had implemented immediate evidence preservation and legal analysis protocols that would provide comprehensive inheritance modification case development and permanent record of Daniel's neglect and character failure for legal documentation and maximum educational impact. The estate planning networks and inheritance modification relationships that Eleanor has developed throughout her career provide systematic capability for implementing comprehensive character-based consequences and ongoing family education coordination, Patricia had noted during emergency legal coordination. Daniel's neglect and systematic care abandonment will result in permanent inheritance modification and comprehensive financial education that demonstrates the consequences of family value violation and care responsibility abandonment. Quote, David Kim, my legal documentation specialist and inheritance coordination expert, had implemented immediate evidence preservation and character analysis protocols that would provide comprehensive legal foundation and permanent record of Daniel's family abandonment for inheritance modification and ongoing behavioral monitoring. The systematic evidence collection and legal documentation provides comprehensive justification for maximum inheritance modification and family education implementation, David had confirmed during emergency legal consultation. Daniel's neglect represents clear violation of family values and care responsibility standards that justify complete inheritance restructuring and permanent character-based consequence implementation. But the most devastating consequences for Daniel's entitled assumptions were implemented through systematic estate planning network coordination that extended far beyond my individual case to include comprehensive inheritance modification and character education coordination throughout the region's legal and financial communities. Dr. Sarah Martinez, the family relationship specialist who had provided estate planning consultation throughout my behavioral documentation period, had implemented immediate communication with legal inheritance networks and family protection services that would ensure Daniel's character failure was documented and addressed throughout estate planning and family wealth management communities. Daniel's systematic neglect and care responsibility abandonment represent classic entitled behavior that requires comprehensive estate planning response and ongoing character monitoring, Dr. Martinez had explained during emergency legal consultation coordination. The documented evidence provides justification for maximum inheritance modification and systematic warning throughout estate planning and family wealth management networks. Estate planning attorney Rebecca Chen, who specialized in character-based inheritance modification and family education implementation, had implemented immediate legal action and inheritance restructuring coordination that would ensure Daniel faced comprehensive consequences for his systematic family abandonment through character-based estate planning and maximum educational impact. The comprehensive evidence of systematic care neglect and family value violation provides legal justification for immediate inheritance modification and maximum character-based consequences, Attorney Chen had confirmed during emergency legal coordination. Daniel's behavior violates fundamental family relationship standards that justify complete inheritance restructuring and permanent character-based education implementation. While Daniel was enjoying what he believed was his successful family responsibility avoidance and preparing for continued inheritance benefits despite his systematic care abandonment, the estate planning networks and legal relationships that I had developed throughout my career were implementing comprehensive consequences that would eliminate his entitled assumptions and ensure permanent character-based education with maximum financial impact. The estate planning investigation had been executed with surgical precision through coordinated legal analysis and professional network cooperation that documented Daniel's character failure while establishing comprehensive inheritance modification for systematic family value violation and care responsibility abandonment. Within 24 hours of Daniel's final care rejection, his entire pattern of family neglect had been systematically documented through estate planning investigation and character analysis that revealed the full scope of his entitled behavior and systematic family abandonment, providing comprehensive evidence for inheritance modification and maximum educational consequences. The estate planning investigation has documented comprehensive evidence of systematic character deterioration and care responsibility abandonment, Attorney Chen had confirmed during legal case coordination. Daniel's entitled behavior includes multiple family value violations that justify maximum inheritance modification and permanent character-based consequences through estate planning law. The legal evidence collection had included detailed analysis of Daniel's behavioral transformation, family value abandonment tactics, and systematic care responsibility rejection that demonstrated premeditated character deterioration rather than temporary career pressure or scheduling difficulty. But, perhaps most devastating for Daniel, was the systematic implementation of inheritance modification consequences that would affect his financial future and family relationship understanding throughout his lifetime, while serving as comprehensive education about the connection between character demonstration and family wealth benefits. The estate planning investigation had included comprehensive inheritance modification and character education implementation that would ensure Daniel's family neglect was addressed through systematic financial consequences and permanent family education that would demonstrate exactly what happens when family care responsibilities are systematically abandoned for personal convenience and professional priorities. The inheritance restructuring had been designed with surgical precision to provide maximum educational impact while preserving family assets for beneficiaries who demonstrated genuine family values and care responsibility commitment, rather than entitled assumption of automatic wealth transfer, regardless of character demonstration or family relationship quality. Within 1 week of Daniel's systematic care abandonment documentation, the legal team had implemented comprehensive inheritance modification that would fundamentally restructure his financial expectations while providing permanent education about family values and the connection between character demonstration and inheritance benefits. Daniel Sullivan's systematic care neglect and family value abandonment represent exactly the kind of entitled behavior that character-based estate planning is designed to address and correct, Attorney Chen had explained during inheritance modification coordination. The comprehensive inheritance restructuring will ensure that family wealth rewards character demonstration and care responsibility rather than automatic entitlement based on biological relationships alone. The inheritance modification had included establishment of character-based assessment protocols, care responsibility demonstration requirements, and systematic family value education that would provide Daniel with clear guidelines for inheritance restoration based on genuine behavioral change and family relationship repair, rather than simple apology or temporary improvement that might disappear once inheritance benefits were restored. But the most strategically devastating element of the inheritance restructuring was the implementation of the everything but the house modification that would provide Daniel with comprehensive education about the difference between earned inheritance and automatic entitlement, while demonstrating exactly how character-based estate planning protects family values and ensures wealth transfer serves family relationship quality rather than enabling entitled behavior. The inheritance modification that would serve as Daniel's comprehensive character education had been strategically designed to provide maximum educational impact while demonstrating the sophisticated legal frameworks and family assessment protocols that distinguished character-based estate planning from automatic wealth transfer based on biological relationships alone. Under the new inheritance structure, Daniel would indeed inherit everything but the house, meaning he would receive comprehensive inheritance of family assets, investments, legal practice equity, and accumulated wealth that represented the majority of family financial resources, while the family home and its associated emotional significance would be transferred to beneficiaries who had demonstrated genuine family values and care responsibility commitment. The everything but the house structure provides Daniel with significant financial inheritance, while ensuring that the family home, the symbol of family connection and care responsibility, goes to individuals who have demonstrated authentic family relationship commitment, I had explained during inheritance modification planning sessions. This creates maximum educational impact about the connection between character demonstration and inheritance benefits while preserving family wealth for appropriate distribution. The strategic brilliance of this inheritance structure was that Daniel would receive substantial financial benefits that exceeded most people's lifetime earnings, while simultaneously receiving comprehensive education about family values and care responsibility through the symbolic transfer of the family home to beneficiaries who had demonstrated genuine family relationship commitment. The house inheritance would be transferred to the Margaret Sullivan Family Protection Foundation, ensuring that the family home would serve community education and elder protection purposes, while providing permanent demonstration of how family wealth should serve family values and community benefit, rather than enabling entitled behavior and care responsibility abandonment. The foundation inheritance ensures that the family home continues to serve family values and community protection, while providing ongoing education about elder care and family relationship responsibility, Foundation Director Patricia Romano had explained during inheritance coordination. Daniel's character failure will create lasting benefit for elderly individuals throughout our community, while demonstrating the consequences of systematic family abandonment. But perhaps most importantly, the inheritance modification included comprehensive behavioral monitoring and character assessment protocols that would provide Daniel with clear pathways for inheritance restoration based on genuine family relationship repair and demonstrated care responsibility commitment, rather than simple financial penalty, without opportunity for character development and family relationship rebuilding. The inheritance modification had been implemented through comprehensive legal documentation and character assessment protocols that would ensure maximum educational impact while providing clear guidelines for inheritance restoration based on demonstrated behavioral change and family relationship repair that reflected genuine character development rather than temporary improvement motivated solely by financial considerations. The legal documentation included detailed behavioral expectations, care responsibility requirements, and family relationship quality standards that would guide Daniel's understanding of the connection between character demonstration and inheritance benefits, while providing systematic opportunities for genuine relationship repair and character development. The inheritance modification documentation provides comprehensive education about family values and clear pathways for inheritance restoration based on demonstrated character change, David Kim had explained during legal implementation coordination. Daniel will understand exactly what family relationship standards are expected and how inheritance benefits reflect character demonstration and care responsibility commitment. Quote, "The behavioral monitoring protocols included systematic assessment of Daniel's family interaction patterns, care responsibility demonstration, and genuine relationship improvement that would provide objective criteria for inheritance restoration based on authentic character development, rather than temporary behavioral modification motivated solely by financial recovery." But the most powerful aspect of the inheritance modification was its demonstration that elderly parents who appear vulnerable may possess exactly the professional background and estate planning authority necessary to ensure that family neglect results in comprehensive character education and permanent family relationship improvement, rather than continued entitled behavior and care responsibility abandonment. Daniel's reaction to discovering the comprehensive inheritance modification revealed the complete collapse of his entitled assumptions and systematic family neglect campaign. His desperate attempts at damage control and family relationship repair demonstrated his recognition that his character failure had triggered permanent and irreversible consequences that would affect his understanding of family relationships and care responsibility for the remainder of his life. "Mom, I think there's been a serious misunderstanding about my work obligations and the temporary scheduling difficulties I've been experiencing," Daniel had said during frantic phone calls that revealed his growing awareness of the inheritance modification and character education that his neglect had triggered. "I was only trying to handle legitimate career responsibilities, and I always intended to provide family support as soon as my work situation stabilized. I never meant to abandon family values or violate care responsibility expectations." The desperate backtracking and misrepresentation of his documented character failure revealed Daniel's recognition that his systematic neglect had been comprehensively exposed, and that his entitled behavior had triggered inheritance modification that would result in permanent character education and family relationship restructuring. But Daniel's attempts at damage control were systematically defeated by the comprehensive legal documentation and professional witness testimony that provided irrefutable proof of his systematic family abandonment and entitled behavior throughout his 3-week care responsibility rejection campaign. The documented evidence of Daniel's systematic care neglect and family value abandonment provides comprehensive proof of character failure and entitled behavior. Dr. Martinez had explained during legal proceedings that confirmed the legitimacy and necessity of the inheritance modification and maximum educational implementation. His current attempts at damage control and misrepresentation do not change the clear legal evidence of systematic family abandonment and care responsibility rejection. Daniel's increasing desperation had led to more aggressive attempts at family manipulation and emotional pressure designed to convince me to withdraw the inheritance modification and character education, revealing his continued misunderstanding of character-based estate planning and automatic consequence procedures that operate based on documented behavior rather than victim preferences for family harmony, rather than character education implementation. "I'm begging you to reconsider this inheritance modification," Daniel had pleaded during what would be our final conversation before his comprehensive character education began. "This is destroying my understanding of family relationships and my assumptions about automatic inheritance over what was essentially temporary work pressure and scheduling conflicts. Can't we work this out privately without implementing permanent inheritance consequences and character education?" The plea for family resolution and inheritance restoration revealed Daniel's fundamental misunderstanding of character-based estate planning and automatic consequence procedures that implement comprehensive education for entitled behavior regardless of family relationships or beneficiary preferences for automatic wealth transfer, rather than character-based inheritance distribution. 6 months following the inheritance modification implementation, Daniel's attempts at legal challenge and consequence avoidance had been systematically defeated through comprehensive evidence presentation and professional testimony that confirmed the legitimacy and necessity of the character education and maximum inheritance restructuring. Daniel Sullivan's legal challenges lack merit and demonstrate continued entitled thinking about automatic inheritance rights, Attorney Chen had explained during legal defense coordination. The documented evidence of systematic care neglect and family value abandonment provides comprehensive justification for all inheritance modification and consequences that have been implemented. The comprehensive legal victory had resulted in additional character education, including family relationship counseling and care responsibility training for Daniel's attempts to manipulate inheritance modification and character education through legal pressure, and entitled assumption that biological relationships guaranteed automatic wealth transfer regardless of character demonstration. But the most transformative moment for Daniel occurred during his comprehensive character education, when he finally realized the full scope of the professional expertise and estate planning capability that he had systematically underestimated throughout his entitled behavior and family abandonment campaign. I had no idea that my mother possessed this level of estate planning authority and character assessment capability, Daniel had admitted during family relationship counseling sessions that provided comprehensive education about professional expertise and family value implementation. I completely misunderstood both her professional background and the legal consequences of systematic care neglect and family value abandonment. The character education had been conducted through comprehensive family relationship counseling and care responsibility training that provided Daniel with systematic understanding of family values and permanent education about the connection between character demonstration and inheritance benefits. The counseling sessions included detailed analysis of Daniel's entitled behavior patterns, systematic education about care responsibility and family relationship quality, and comprehensive planning for genuine character development and family relationship repair that would reflect authentic value change rather than temporary behavioral modification motivated solely by inheritance recovery. Daniel's character education provides comprehensive understanding of family relationship responsibility and permanent guidance for genuine character development, Dr. Martinez had explained during educational program coordination. The inheritance modification creates lasting learning opportunity while ensuring that family wealth serves family values and character development, rather than enabling entitled behavior. Quote, 1 year following the inheritance modification implementation, Daniel's systematic character education and family relationship reconstruction had resulted in comprehensive behavioral change and genuine family value appreciation that exceeded all expectations for entitled behavior correction and care responsibility development. The character education had included systematic family relationship counseling, care responsibility training, and ongoing behavioral monitoring that provided Daniel with comprehensive understanding of family values and permanent guidance for authentic relationship maintenance and care responsibility demonstration. Daniel's transformation had been genuine and lasting, involving comprehensive character development that included regular family care demonstration, systematic relationship maintenance, and ongoing commitment to family values that reflected authentic change rather than temporary behavioral modification, motivated solely by inheritance considerations. The character education and inheritance modification have created genuine understanding of family relationship responsibility and lasting commitment to care demonstration, Daniel had explained during family relationship assessment sessions that documented his authentic behavioral change and family value appreciation. I finally understand that inheritance should reflect character and family contribution rather than automatic entitlement based on biological relationships. The family relationship reconstruction had included establishment of regular care responsibility demonstration, systematic family value education, and ongoing character assessment that provided clear guidelines for maintaining family relationship quality and inheritance benefit restoration, based on authentic behavioral change rather than temporary improvement. But perhaps most importantly, Daniel's character education had created lasting understanding of the connection between family behavior and inheritance benefits, while demonstrating how professional expertise and estate planning authority can ensure that family wealth serves family values and character development, rather than enabling entitled behavior and care responsibility abandonment. 18 months following the initial inheritance modification, Daniel's demonstrated character development and genuine family relationship improvement had justified comprehensive inheritance restoration that included both financial benefits and family home access, based on authentic behavioral change and care responsibility commitment that reflected permanent character development rather than temporary compliance. The inheritance restoration had been implemented through systematic character assessment and family relationship evaluation that documented Daniel's genuine transformation and lasting commitment to family values and care responsibility demonstration that exceeded requirements for inheritance modification reversal. Daniel's comprehensive character development and authentic family relationship improvement justify complete inheritance restoration, Attorney Chen had confirmed during inheritance modification review. His behavioral change demonstrates genuine understanding of family values and permanent commitment to care responsibility that reflects authentic character development rather than financial motivation. The inheritance restoration included comprehensive financial benefits and family home access that reflected Daniel's demonstrated character improvement while maintaining ongoing behavioral monitoring and family relationship assessment that would ensure lasting change rather than temporary compliance motivated solely by inheritance recovery. But the most significant aspect of Daniel's inheritance restoration was his comprehensive understanding of the professional expertise and estate planning authority that had made his character education possible, while creating lasting appreciation for family values and care responsibility that would guide his behavior throughout his lifetime. I now understand that my mother's professional background provided exactly the estate planning expertise and character assessment capability necessary to ensure that inheritance serves family values rather than enabling entitled behavior, Daniel had explained during inheritance restoration ceremonies. The character education has created lasting understanding of family relationship responsibility and permanent commitment to care demonstration that reflects genuine appreciation rather than automatic assumption. Quote, "The inheritance modification that had begun with systematic family neglect and care responsibility abandonment had evolved into comprehensive character education and family relationship reconstruction that created lasting benefit not just for our family but for the broader community through educational programs and elder protection initiatives that would prevent similar family abandonment and entitled behavior." The hidden message that Daniel discovered through his comprehensive character education wasn't about punishment or family control. It was about the importance of character demonstration and care responsibility in family relationships, while ensuring that family wealth serves family values and character development rather than enabling entitled behavior and systematic care abandonment. The hidden message in Eleanor's response to family neglect represents the most comprehensive character education and family relationship improvement that our professional community has developed, Dr. Martinez had explained during educational program implementation ceremonies. Daniel's character transformation provides permanent demonstration of how estate planning expertise can ensure that family wealth serves family values, while creating lasting character development and care responsibility commitment. The Hidden Message program included comprehensive documentation of entitled behavior patterns, systematic education about family relationship responsibility and care commitment, and permanent case study material that would serve as educational resource for estate planning professionals and family relationship counselors throughout the region and beyond. But the most powerful aspect of the hidden message was its demonstration that elderly parents who appear vulnerable may possess exactly the professional background and estate planning authority necessary to ensure that family neglect results in comprehensive character education and lasting family relationship improvement, rather than continued entitled behavior and care responsibility abandonment. The quiet retirement lifestyle that had concealed estate planning authority had ultimately protected not just one family relationship, but had created educational resources and character development programs that would benefit families throughout the community, while demonstrating how professional expertise can ensure that family wealth serves family values and character development, rather than enabling entitled behavior. 2 years following the initial inheritance modification, the comprehensive character education and family relationship reconstruction had created lasting positive change that extended far beyond our individual family, to include community-wide programs for elder care education and family relationship improvement that would prevent similar neglect and entitled behavior throughout our region. The Eleanor Hartwell Family Values Foundation had grown into a comprehensive resource center that provided education, character development services, and estate planning assistance for families throughout Connecticut and neighboring states. The Foundation's programs had directly assisted over 1,500 families in understanding the connection between character demonstration and inheritance benefits, while providing comprehensive support for elderly individuals facing family neglect and entitled behavior from adult children. The Foundation's impact has exceeded our most optimistic projections, Foundation Director Patricia Romano had reported during the second annual impact assessment. Eleanor's systematic response to family neglect has created educational and character development resources that have prevented countless instances of elder abandonment, while providing comprehensive support for families facing similar entitled behavior and care responsibility failure. The Foundation's educational programs included comprehensive workshops for families about character-based estate planning and inheritance decision-making, professional training for elder care advocates and family relationship counselors, and legal education for attorneys about character assessment integration and inheritance modification strategies. Daniel had become one of the Foundation's most effective educators and advocates, sharing his personal transformation story and character development experience to help other families understand the importance of care responsibility and family relationship maintenance throughout aging and health challenges. My character education and family relationship reconstruction have created lasting understanding of care responsibility and genuine appreciation for family values, Daniel had explained during Foundation educational programs. The inheritance modification taught me that family wealth should serve family relationships and character development, rather than automatic entitlement, regardless of behavior demonstration. Quote, "The national recognition of our character education approach had attracted attention from estate planning professionals and family relationship specialists throughout the United States, leading to adoption of similar programs and character assessment frameworks in multiple states and legal communities. The Eleanor Hartwell character education model represents a breakthrough approach to ensuring that inheritance serves family values while creating lasting character development and care responsibility commitment," explained Professor Janet Williams of Harvard Law School during national estate planning conferences. The systematic integration of character assessment and inheritance modification provides families with tools for ensuring that wealth transfer reflects family relationship quality, while encouraging positive behavior and care responsibility demonstration. As I reflect on the 2 years that have passed since Daniel's character education and the comprehensive family relationship transformation that resulted from strategic inheritance modification, the most satisfying aspect of the entire experience has been the knowledge that his systematic neglect ultimately created lasting character development and family relationship improvement that will benefit not just our family but countless others through educational programs and community protection initiatives. The foundation that bears my name has grown into a comprehensive resource center that provides character education, family relationship counseling, and estate planning assistance for families throughout multiple states, while also serving as a model for similar organizations and character development programs throughout the country. The character assessment and inheritance modification techniques that were developed through Daniel's education have been adopted by estate planning professionals nationwide, enhancing capability for ensuring that family wealth serves family values while creating lasting character development and care responsibility commitment. The lasting impact of Eleanor's systematic response to family neglect extends far beyond individual character education to create comprehensive family relationship improvement frameworks and educational resources that will prevent countless instances of elder abandonment, explained Dr. Martinez during the Foundation's second anniversary celebration. But perhaps the most profound satisfaction comes from knowing that Daniel's entitled behavior and systematic care abandonment, which was designed to prioritize personal convenience over family responsibility, ultimately demonstrated the importance of character demonstration and care commitment, while creating lasting educational resources that would protect elderly individuals from similar neglect and abandonment. The quiet elderly mother that Daniel systematically neglected during health crisis had possessed exactly the professional expertise and estate planning authority necessary to ensure that his entitled behavior resulted in comprehensive character education and lasting family relationship improvement, while also creating educational resources that would protect other elderly individuals from similar neglect and care abandonment. The story that began with systematic family neglect and care responsibility abandonment had ended with comprehensive character education and family relationship reconstruction, proving that real estate planning authority and professional expertise often operate quietly until entitled behavior forces them into educational action that creates lasting benefit for families and communities. Daniel had assumed that my age and apparent vulnerability made me an ideal target for systematic care neglect and responsibility abandonment, never realizing that some elderly parents possess exactly the professional background and estate planning connections necessary to ensure that entitled behavior results in comprehensive character education and lasting family relationship improvement. The inheritance that Daniel thought was automatically guaranteed regardless of his character demonstration had ultimately triggered the most comprehensive family education and character development program in our community's history, demonstrating that family wealth should serve family values and care responsibility rather than enabling entitled behavior and systematic relationship abandonment. The hidden message that Daniel discovered through his character education was that elderly parents who appear vulnerable may possess decades of professional expertise and systematic authority that can transform family neglect into educational opportunities and character development resources that serve as permanent benefit for families and communities. My 40 years of estate planning experience had provided exactly the right professional background and systematic capability to ensure that Daniel's entitled behavior resulted not only in comprehensive personal character education, but also in lasting educational resources and family relationship improvement frameworks that would benefit families throughout the region and beyond. The foundation continues to grow and expand its educational programs. The character assessment techniques continue to be adopted by estate planning professionals nationwide, and Daniel continues to serve as an advocate and educator while maintaining the genuine family relationship commitment and care responsibility demonstration that his character education created. Some family neglect ends with simple relationship damage and lasting resentment, but others create lasting character education and family relationship improvement that serve as permanent demonstration of how professional expertise can ensure that family wealth serves family values while creating comprehensive benefit for families and communities. Daniel thought he was avoiding inconvenient family care responsibilities while maintaining automatic inheritance benefits. He had no idea he was creating the foundation for one of the most comprehensive character education and family relationship improvement programs in estate planning history. The quiet retirement that had concealed estate planning authority had ultimately protected not just one family relationship, but had created lasting educational resources and character development frameworks that would benefit thousands of families, while demonstrating how professional expertise can ensure that family wealth serves family values and character development, rather than enabling entitled behavior. Remember, real estate planning power operates through professional expertise and systematic authority rather than obvious display. The most important character education often comes from those who appear most vulnerable, while possessing exactly the right background and professional connections to ensure that entitled behavior results in comprehensive family relationship improvement and lasting educational legacy. Never underestimate someone based on age, apparent vulnerability, or family relationships, because you never know when that quiet elderly parent might possess exactly the estate planning expertise and character assessment authority necessary to transform your entitled behavior into the most comprehensive character education and family relationship improvement of your lifetime. Have you ever witnessed such a complete transformation from entitled neglect to genuine character development? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts, because this story proves that family wealth should serve family values and character development, and that the most powerful estate planning often operates through professional expertise that creates lasting educational benefit for families and communities. If you enjoyed this story of character education and family relationship improvement, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell for more stories about how professional expertise and estate planning authority can ensure that family relationships serve family values while creating lasting benefit for individuals and communities who understand the importance of character demonstration and care responsibility commitment. The inheritance lesson that changed Daniel's life forever and created lasting benefit for thousands of families proves that some character education requires professional expertise and systematic consequences to restore genuine family values and care responsibility that should be natural expressions of family relationship commitment and community care. Up next, you've got two more standout stories right on your screen. If this one hit the mark, you won't want to pass these up. Just click and check them out. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any upload from us.